is natural resources? You are going to give me the answer in the chat box. What do you understand by the natural resources? It means that the things are natural. Okay. Okay. Okay, very good. I would like to unmute one child. Gargi Kamble, I have unmuted you. Yes, can you tell me what are natural resources? According to you, what do you understand by natural resources? Gargi?
Yes, teacher.
What do you understand by natural resources?
Fulfilling the basic needs are known as natural resources.
Very good answer. The basic needs which are fulfilled by the environment, that is called as natural resources. Okay. Now, what are natural resources? Can anyone tell?
Air, water, and land.
Very good. Air, water, and
Land.
soil. Okay. Mute yourself, beta. Mute yourself. Okay. Okay. Now, no one is going to type in the chat box unless I ask you the question. Okay. Now, natural resources means what? Natural resources is anything that the people can use, make use from the nature. Okay. Okay. Now, I would like to unmute Akansha. Akansha, I have unmuted you.
Yes.
Akansha, yes. Can you read the slide for me?
Yes.
Can you read the slide for me?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, start better.
On
Yes,
natural resources is anything that people can use which comes from nature. People do not make natural resources but gather them from the earth. Example of natural resources are air, water, wood, oil, wind, energy, iron, and coal.
okay. Akansha, what did you understand by this reading this slide?
People cannot make resources, natural
Very
resources.
good. Can you give me the example of natural resources?
Air, water, wood, oil.
Okay, very good. Very good, Gargi. Now, I hope everyone has understood about the definition, what is natural resources. So, natural resources is anything that fulfills the need from the nature that are called natural resources. We cannot prepare the natural resources. Okay, these natural resources we cannot prepare. They are formed in nature. Okay, and the examples of natural resources are air, water, wood, oil, wind, energy, iron, and coal. So these all are the examples of the natural resources. Okay, so I hope you have understood about our lesson, what is natural resources and the examples of the natural resources. So students, today we are going to study about the natural resources of air, water, and soil. So we are only concerned of the three main important resources, that is air, water, and soil. So let us move forward. So in this picture, what do you see? Just one second. Arnav Mishra, I have unmuted you. Arnav Mishra. Arnav Mishra.
Yes, teacher.
What do you see in the picture, beta? What do you see in the picture?
Water, land, tree,
Water,
cloud,
clouds, okay.
and
Land, okay.
tree.
Okay. Trees, okay, very good. In this picture, you can see some living things and some non-living things, okay. Now, as you can see in this picture, I have labeled three different parts. That is lithosphere, hydrosphere, and atmosphere. Students, you can note these three words. These three words are very much important. Lithosphere, hydrosphere, and atmosphere. Lithosphere is dealing with soil. Okay, soil is supposed to be called as lithosphere. So lithosphere is related to the word soil. Okay, then hydrosphere. Hydro means water. So this word is related to water. Okay, this word is related to water. And then atmosphere. What is the word atmosphere related to? It is related to air. It is related to air. Okay, atmosphere is related to air, whereas hydrosphere is related to water. Okay, so this is the meaning of atmosphere, hydrosphere, and lithosphere. So the new words are there for you. So you are supposed to remember these words: atmosphere, hydrosphere, and lithosphere. Lithosphere is the word for soil. Hydrosphere is the new word for water, and atmosphere is the new word for air. Okay, let's move forward. Now biosphere. Now you will have some question like, teacher, now what is biosphere? We have studied only about the three sphere, that is hydrosphere, lithosphere, and atmosphere. So what is this biosphere? So what does the actually meaning of biosphere means? Some part of atmosphere, some part of atmosphere, some part of hydrosphere, and some part of lithosphere is in biosphere. All these three spheres, the combination of all these three is known as biosphere. Okay, the combination of all these three is known as biosphere. Okay, in other words, we can say that the living things and the part of lithosphere, part of hydrosphere, and the part of atmosphere is occupied, that is called as biosphere. Okay, so what is biosphere? A part of hydrosphere, a part of lithosphere, and a part of atmosphere occupied is known as biosphere. So students, I hope you have understood about the words. These new words are new for you. You can note it down. Okay. Samruddhi, I have unmuted you. Samruddhi Jadhav, I have unmuted you.
Yes, teacher. My
Can you
voice
read
is
the slide for me? Can you read the slide for me?
Yes, teacher.
Yes. Start, beta.
Air. The earth is surrounded by atmosphere, which is made up of air. Air is mixture of gases. Constituents of air: nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, nitrogen dioxide, sulfur dioxide, water vapor, and dust particles. Layers of atmosphere.
Okay. Can you tell me where is air present?
What, teacher?
Where is air present?
Air is present in atmosphere.
Atmosphere. It is not present in your house.
In my house also.
Air is present everywhere. Okay, air is present everywhere. So earth is surrounded by the atmosphere. Okay? So as it is surrounded by the atmosphere, so in our surrounding air is present. So air is everywhere. Okay, the next point, that is air is a mixture of gases. Now in this air there are various gases present in the air. Okay, so the air is the atmosphere is a constituent in which different constituents of gases are present in the air. So which gases are present in the air? Nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, nitrogen dioxide, sulfur dioxide, water vapors, and some dust particles. So I hope you have understood about this. So let's move towards the next part of the lesson. So students, do you know how much part of the earth is covered by land and how much part of the land is covered by water? Rudra, I have unmuted you. Rudra,
Yes, ma'am. Good morning,
can
ma'am.
you tell how much part of the land is occupied by the earth and how much part of the is occupied by water?
Ma'am, 29% of the part of Earth is occupied by land, and 71% part of Earth is occupied by water.
Very good answer. Okay, now next part of the lesson, that is layers of atmosphere. Now this atmosphere is having some layers. So what are those layers? The troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, ionosphere and exosphere are the 5 layers. So you can see these 5 layers here. The first layer is troposphere, second is stratosphere, third is mesosphere, fourth is thermosphere and fifth is exosphere. The thermosphere is also known as ionosphere. Now here you can see which is the closest sphere. Kanishka, I have unmuted you. Which is the closest layer towards the earth?
So the closest sphere to the Earth is troposphere, ma'am.
Very good answer. You can mute yourself. Simran, I have unmuted you. Which is
Yes,
the
ma'am.
farthest? Which is the farthest layer towards the earth?
The farthest layer toward the earth is exosphere.
Very good answer. Exosphere. Now, as you all have come to know that there are 5 spheres, 5 layers of spheres. That is troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, ionosphere, and exosphere. Okay. Now, in troposphere, approximately 80% of gases are present. As you move forward, the gases present in troposphere will get decreasing. So the most gases, 80% of gases is present in troposphere, whereas in exosphere there is no gas. Okay. What I would like to make you understand here, that the troposphere you will found many gases. As you move forward in the next layer, that is stratosphere, you will get very less gases present in the stratosphere as compared to troposphere. Then when you move towards the next layer, that is mesosphere, you will find little more less. Then when you move towards the ionosphere, more less gases will be there. And in the last stage, that is exosphere, in that stage you will find that no gases are found in this sphere. So the conclusion for this is that the amount of gases is higher near the surface of the earth. So the sphere which is near to the earth will have highest amount of gases, whereas you go higher and higher, the proportion of the gas will start going decreasing, and at the last you will find that in the last layer of the sphere there is no gas. Okay, so this is the conclusion. So before moving forward, I would like to ask one question. Sumit Duri, I have unmuted you. Sumit Duri, name the 5 layers of the atmosphere.
Troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, exosphere, and
Exosphere is the last. You missed the fourth one. The fourth one was ionosphere.
okay,
Okay.
teacher. Yes,
Oh, very good. Very good. No problem. You tried to answer.
yes.
Okay.
Teacher, can I now mute?
Yes, yes. Mute yourself.
Thank you.
Akansha, I have unmuted you. Akansha,
Yes.
can you read the slide for me?
Yes. Useful gases. Nitrogen helps living things to build the necessary proteins. Oxygen, carbon dioxide, argon used in electronic
Not argon.
Ele-
Argon.
used for obtaining low temperature and also for generating lift in airships. Used in decorative lights and for street lighting. Teacher, what is this?
Krypton.
Krypton. Used in fluorescent tube. Zigzag.
Xenon.
Used in flash photography.
Mute yourself. Thank you for reading. Now, these are some of the important gases that we are finding in the atmosphere. So, nitrogen. So, where does nitrogen? Nitrogen is useful in living things to build the necessary proteins in our body. For that purpose, nitrogen is required. Nitrogen is required. So, nitrogen is helpful for living things. Then oxygen, as you know, oxygen is required for inhaling, respiration. Without oxygen, we cannot live. So oxygen is the most important part. Okay. Then third is carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide. Now carbon dioxide is very much useful for plants. Okay. Without carbon dioxide, plants cannot survive. As we cannot survive without oxygen, plants cannot survive without carbon dioxide. So we require oxygen, whereas plants require carbon dioxide. Okay, for us, carbon dioxide is harmful. We exhale carbon dioxide, and what we intake oxygen. And in plants, exactly the opposite thing happens. That is, plant inhale carbon dioxide and exhale oxygen. Inhale and exhale. So what does the meaning of inhale? Inhale means taking in. Exhale means giving out. Okay. The next type of gas is argon. Now this argon, where it is used in our electric bulbs. So at your homes, you must have some electric bulbs. So in that bulbs, which gas is present? Argon gas is present. When the bulb is not working, that time if you throw it and if it falls down, so big noise comes from that, and some gas also escapes from that. So don't do this. For example, I told you, in case if it breaks, so some gas comes out from that bulb and even a big noise comes, that is of argon. Okay. Then helium. Helium is used in obtaining the low temperature as well as in the generating lift of airship. Now, in airships, to lift these things, helium gas is used. Then we are using some decorative lights in Ganpati and Diwali. So those lights consist of neon gas. Okay. Then the fluorescent tubes that are present in our house, those consist of krypton gas. Okay. And while taking out photo, you get a flash from that photography. So that gas consists of xenon. So when you go to take out your photo, that time the flashlight which comes, that comes with the help of xenon gas. So I hope you are aware of all these gases. So let me ask some question. Riya Singh, I have unmuted you. Riya Singh. Riya Singh, I have unmuted you. Okay. Rudra, I have unmuted you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Where is oxygen used? Can you tell?
Oxygen is used for inhaling.
Okay. Can you tell me in this picture how much percent does the oxygen is present in atmosphere?
21%, ma'am.
And carbon dioxide?
0.03%.
Which percentage more in the atmosphere? Which
Nitrogen.
gas percentage is more?
Nitrogen.
Okay. Very good. In other constituent, which gases can come? Can you tell?
What, ma'am?
Other constituent of air, 0.07%. In those constituent, which things can come?
Ma'am, sulfur dioxide and dust particles.
Very good, dust particles. Okay. So students, you have gone through this figure. In this figure, the ratio of the proportion of the various gas in air present is given. So you can go through this figure. Rudra has read all the things. So nitrogen present is 78%, 21% oxygen, carbon dioxide 0.03%, argon 0.9%, and other constituents such as dust particles and water vapors consist of 0.07%. Okay, this is about the gases present in the air and their proportion. Okay, now air pollution. Okay. Jayesh, I have unmuted you. Jayesh,
Yes, teacher.
can you read the slide for me? Can you read the slide for me?
Yes, teacher. Yes, teacher. Air pollution. When harmful substance produced through. Teacher, what is this?
Combustion.
Combustion are results is called air pollution. Pollution like
Pollutant.
pollutions, pollutant like smoking, leads to the
Balance.
the balance between the balance between constituents of air. Air pollution is caused by vehicles and
Industries.
industry.
Okay. Can you tell me what can you see in the picture?
I can see in a traffic jam, our cars has been throwing smokes, and industry is throwing almost then smoke.
And third picture is about
Of on a mountain, a fire on mountain.
okay. Thank you for giving me the reading and explaining the figures. I would like to
Thank you.
add more points. You can mute yourself. In the first picture, you
Yes,
can see
teacher.
some chemicals are raised in the air. Some harmful chemicals are released in the air. In the second, you can see some vehicles are polluting the environment by the smoke. Okay, and the third picture is about the forest fire. In summer season, the dry plants, due to the very much hot temperature, the forest fire do takes place. Okay, so that time also when the harmful, anything burns, it releases some harmful chemicals or smoke that pollutes the air. So the definition of the air pollution is when the harmful substances are produced through combustion. Combustion means by burning or by owning the vehicles or by releasing the smoke from the chimneys of the chemical industries. So all this release some harmful gases that pollutes the air, that is called as air pollution. And once this air pollution air gets polluted, then the balance of the air pollution gets disturbed. Okay, then the balance of the air pollution gets disturbed. So what does the word pollutant means? The harmful gases that mix with air, those are called as pollutants. Pollutant means the vehicles which are responsible for polluting, the chimneys of the industries which are responsible for polluting the air. So these are the pollutants which causes air pollution. So they are called as pollutants. Okay, and the air pollution is caused mostly by vehicles and industries. So nowadays CNG vehicles are very much useful. Now they are widely used in all the areas as they are least polluting vehicles. So many of the people go for the CNG vehicles. Okay, I hope till here everyone has understand. If understand, please give me yes in the chat box. Archit Tiwari is saying my voice is breaking. Is my voice really breaking? I have asked students to give the answer in the chat box. No, okay. You have understood. Okay. Okay, so now I don't need any answer in the chat box. I got all the queries are solved of mine. Okay. Okay, thank you. Let's move towards the next, air pollution and its effect. Okay. So Tanishka Adangale, I have unmuted you. Tanishka. Tanishka, I have unmuted you.
Yes, teacher.
Can you read the slide for me?
Yes, teacher.
Okay.
Air pollution and its effects. The increase in the content of harmful substance in the air is called air pollution. Fossil fuels like coal and petroleum contain small amounts of nitrogen and sulfur.
Nitrogen.
Teacher,
Yes. When these fuels are burned,
when these fuels are burned, it releases oxides of sulfur and nitrogen. These oxides dissolve in rain and cause
acid rain. Okay, thank you for reading. Again, here the air pollution definition is given for you. The increase in the content of the harmful substances in the air is called as air pollution. Now, if the country, if the industries and the vehicles, if they pollute the air in the same manner, what will happen? The proportion figure we have seen before. All nitrogen will have 78%, oxygen will have 21%. So this proportion which is given naturally by the air, if this proportion decreases, there will be disturbance in the ratio of all the gases, and the gas will have there will be air pollution. Okay, there will be disturbance in the proportion of the gases, which may lead to air pollution. Now, what is the effect of the air pollution? Now, this air pollution, what happens when you burn coal or petroleum? That time, what happens? They release smoke, which causes air pollution. So nowadays, instead of making food on the coal, चूल्हे पे हम लोग पहले खाना बनाते थे ना, तो now it is stopped. It has stopped. Now gases have taken place in the place, or induction gas is also there, which causes less air pollution. Okay, so these types of things should be used to avoid the air pollution. The next point is that some fuels which are burned that release sulfur and nitrogen. So when you burn fuel, now what happens? When you burn them, some nitrogen and oxygen gas comes out from them. And when this nitrogen and oxygen gas mixes with the water, they become acidic. And when the water comes in the form of rain towards the ground, at that time, that rain is called as acid rain. Okay, I would like to show you the effects of air pollution. See, you would like, when there is no air pollution, everything is greener, everything is normal. But if once the air pollution occurs in the atmosphere, what will happen? You can see the picture. The trees have become dry, the sky's color is different, and everything, the system in the half part which we look in the picture does not look good. But the half part which is free from air pollution, that part we love to see. Okay, now this, in this picture you can see acid rains. Now what is acid rains? Now here you can see if there is a mixture of nitrogen dioxide and sulfur dioxide in the clouds, that time what will happen? They will react with water, and HNO3 and H2SO4 will form, that is nitric acid and sulfuric acid. So when this nitrogen dioxide and sulfur dioxide mixes with water, it results into acid. And when this acid rain comes, you can see that the trees are killed by the acid rains. So to avoid this, we should not pollute our atmosphere. You should try to use the thing. You should love your nature and try to avoid the air pollution how much we can possible. You have seen the effects of the air pollution. Okay. So next is ozone layer, which is also known as protective layer. So Gargi, I would like to ask you to read the ozone layer, the protective shell.
Ozone layer, the protective shell. The ozone gas absorbs this rays. As a result, life on Earth is protected. The ozone layer is destroyed if chemical gases like carbon tetrachloride or chlorofluorocarbons used in air conditioner and refrigeration mixed with
Conditioners,
the 16th of September is
air.
celebrated as Ozone Protection Day all over the world to make everyone aware of the importance of ozone.
Okay, thank you, Gargi. Now, ozone layer is the layer which protects the earth. Okay, it protects the earth from the harmful ultraviolet rays that comes from the sun directly towards the earth. So ozone layer is there from where the ultraviolet rays get absorbed in the ozone layer, and we get pure sunlight from the sun. We do not get the harmful rays are not passed by the ozone layer towards the earth. So whatever rays of the sunlight come towards the earth, that are useful rays, whereas the ozone layer acts as absorbing the harmful rays from the sunlight. So the ozone layer is called as a protective shell. Okay, now which type of gases are present in the, we say harmful gases are present in the rays of the sunlight and that are absorbed by the ozone layer. So the gases such as carbon tetrachloride and chlorofluorocarbon, which is used in air conditioners and refrigerators, mixed with air and which may cause a harm. Okay, now 16th September is the day which is celebrated as Ozone Protection Day. Why it is celebrated as Ozone Protective Day? Because people should get aware about the importance of the ozone layer. If the air pollution increases day by day, what will happen? The ozone layer will get damaged, and then you think how much damage will the earth will have to suffer if there is a harm to the ozone layer. All the harmful rays will come on the earth and the people may suffer with a very harmful effects of the of this rays. Okay. Okay. So I would like to ask question to Farhan. I have unmuted you, Farhan. When is Ozone Day celebrated? Can you tell me? Yes, Farhan. When is ozone layer celebrated? Can you tell me? Okay, he is not able to hear me. Sumit Duri, I have unmuted you. Yes, can you tell me when is Ozone Protection Day celebrated?
On 16 September, the ozone layer day celebrated.
Okay, thank you. Just read the slide which is in front of you.
Location of ozone layer. Ozone is present in the troposphere. The stratosphere reaches 30 miles above the earth, and at the very top, it contains ozone.
Now the question will arise in your mind that where does the ozone layer is actually situated? We have studied about the 5 layers.
Yes.
That is troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, ionosphere, and exosphere. So where is the exact location of this ozone layer? So where it is present, can you tell me?
Teacher, it is present in stratosphere and in the between of stratosphere and stratosphere.
No, it is present in troposphere. Okay.
Troposphere and
Where it is present in troposphere. Then about 30 miles above the top in the stratosphere ozone layer you can see. You can refer the picture where the ozone layer is present. Okay. Thank you for reading. You can mute yourself.
Okay,
Now
teacher,
let's
thank you.
have a look on. Tanishka, I have unmuted you.
Yes,
On the
ma'am.
effects of ozone depletion.
Okay. Effects of ozone depletion. First, if the ozone layer would deplete, the ultraviolet rays of the sun would enter the Earth's atmosphere, which could lead to severe effects such as an increase in the risk of having skin cancer, damaging the eyes, the weakening of the immune systems, skin allergies, decay in the growth of plants and animals, breakdown of the natural carbon cycle.
Okay, we were talking about what will be happen if the ozone layer is damaged. So you can see here, if the ozone layer gets depleted due to the ultraviolet rays, depleted means get harmed. Okay, harmful effects of depletion of the ozone layer. If the ozone layer gets damaged and if it gets vanished from the troposphere, what would happen? So the people will suffer by the disease known as skin cancer. Then there will be damage in their eyes also. Then immunity power will be very less. Nowadays immunity power should be nice, very nice. Everyone is trying to grow the immunity power in their self to fight against the corona disease. So in the same way, if the ozone layer gets depleted, then the immunity system of all the people will get weakening. Okay, then there may be skin allergies also. Okay, so there may be some skin allergies also. Then decaying of the growth of the plant and animals. So growth of the plants and animals will not be proper. It will be abnormal. Normal growth of plants and animals will not be seen. Okay, and again breakdown of the carbon cycle. Okay, so the cycle which we have seen before, the proportion of the different gases in the atmosphere, if it gets unbalanced, so there would be many much problems that will be we have to face. So in that case we are supposed to not to harm the air. Okay, so let's move towards the question answer session. Carbon dioxide. So how, where can you relate the carbon dioxide? Which option is correct? Manasvi, I have unmuted you. There are 4 options: generation of soil, rain. Third option is plant and food production. Fourth option is